members for helping the museum to keep going. I'm Kathy Newmel, VP of Marketing. Thank you to CEFCU for the title sponsorship here and all of our sponsors, many of whom are here today. I'd like to introduce our President and CEO, John Morris.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy Newmiller, and thanks to Kathy for all the work she's done to help pull today's press kickoff. Are we ready for T-Rex? Now, come on, we're standing. We gotta show T-Rex what we got. Are we ready for T-Rex? Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the board of directors, several of whom are here this morning, I'm looking out from the board of directors. Raise your hands if you're here. I see Steve Jackson, our chairman, Brian Ray, former board member Sally Snyder is here, who chairs our Every Student Initiative. On behalf of all the board and all the staff and the more than 4,000 members and Visionary Society members and corporate Visionary Society members and the great sponsors that have made this day possible. T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator, is the first exhibition in history of international blockbuster level that is launching its tour from Peoria, Illinois on Saturday morning. How about that? To help us get going this morning, please help me welcome the fearless leader who serves with the best board of directors at any nonprofit I have ever seen in my life, my bosses, the board of directors of the Peoria Riverfront Museum Chair, Steve Jackson.
Thank you. Can you hear okay through this? If I stand behind there, I'll be hidden. So anyway, welcome. Thank you for being here today. John referred to it as an international blockbuster. There's no question that it is. When I think about Central Illinois and the good things happening here today, the museum tops my list. I'm so proud to be associated with the museum and the board that works here. The staff is phenomenal. But I have to put this in perspective for you. You know, we're never going to have a Super Bowl. We're never going to host an Olympic event. But the truth is, in the museum world, this is the Super Bowl of all things museum. You can be really extra proud today to be a Central Illinois resident. You should give yourselves a round of applause. I'm telling you, the work that's done inside these walls gives me inspiration. It's one of the purposes of this museum. I am so delighted to be part of it, and such a long list. John did a short piece of it, but without you, our supporters, without our donors, without our great staff, this wouldn't be happening today, and we wouldn't have the great hope and joy that we have in Peoria if this museum did not exist. So that's all I have. Thank you very much for being here today.
So to pull off an 8,000 square foot large exhibition, the first place it goes outside of New York City's famous American Museum of Natural History. That's the Night at the Museum. You ever seen that movie? Parents, ever seen Night at the Museum? That's the museum. In fact, that's Rexy right out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that. So to pull this off has taken years of work and a tremendous amount of financial support as well. To bring something like this required us to remodel our galleries, required us to work on design for years. The Peoria Riverfront Museum team has done a marvelous job, but none of it would have been possible if the board had not committed itself and all of us to going after the big blockbuster exhibitions, and if CEFCU had not stepped forward as they did with a tremendous sponsorship. So what I'd like to do is recognize the brand new president of CEFCU, Matt Mamer, who's a month on the job, and he's getting started in style by bringing T-Rex to Peoria, Matt. So if Matt Mabler would come forward, I've got a token of our appreciation for what he has done and what's all the 350,000 members of SEFCU have done to help us out today. Matt Mabler. Before Matt says anything, I'm going to give him a couple of small gifts, a token of our appreciation. One, for your new credentials as a CEO of SEFCU. And our store has acquired, I have to be very careful to handle this, an actual fossil of some dinosaur teeth that you can take back with you to remind you of that.
Yeah, very cool.
Matt Mabler, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, John. This is very cool. SEFCU is very proud to partner with Peoria Riverfront Museum to debut this international traveling exhibit of T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator. And when John came out and presented this opportunity to us, we were very excited. Now that we've all had a chance to see it firsthand, we're even more excited about this incredible opportunity and what it brings to the community. Just a phenomenal educational element to our community for all to enjoy, as well as really strengthens our area's reputation of being a great place to live, work, and visit. So SEFCU's been a supporter of the arts for many years and really appreciates the strong partnership that we have with the Peoria Riverfront Museum. Very proud to sponsor T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator, and we're very excited for individuals and families to come out and enjoy this experience and this incredible exhibit. So thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. In order to prepare to hold this exhibition in here, we're in the midst of a pandemic. In the last year and 3 months, we were closed 216 days of the year, and yet our staff kept putting out hundreds, actually more than 1,000 videos and postings, and kept our public inspired, because our mission is to inspire each other and be inspired by each other as a museum community. That's what we're doing. An idea emerged that instead of having this exhibition where we've always had the temporary exhibitions, we had a plan to redo this space. And with a generous anonymous donor stepping forward with a challenge, one of the great ladies of the museum, somebody who is so instrumental in this museum, people don't have any idea what she did to put some things in motion here. She's a member of my president's advisory council. Her late husband and the former mayor of Peoria was the founding chairman of the board of the Peoria Riverfront Museum. And her family stepped forward with a major gift to pay to get this space ready for T-Rex. And doesn't it look beautiful? So please help me welcome a T-Rex sized lady and my dear friend, Zan Ransberg.
Thank you. I will not stand behind the microphone. You can see me. I thank John. He's part of our family. And I'm so excited and want to thank all the people that made this possible. This is what the museum is about. This is what we all are here for. So I just hope everybody spreads the word and everybody enjoys it. And on behalf of my entire family and my dearly beloved lost husband, I would just like to especially be grateful for what we have here. So thank you.
Thank you, Zan. What a difference this has made. Other sponsors include Precision Planting, a new member of our Corporate Visionary Society Council, RLI, the Oak River Foundation, who also stepped forward, Bill Heydrich's foundation, to help with the renovations, and our Corporate Visionary Society Council, which is growing. These are companies that make multiple year gifts to help us sustain ourselves here. So gratitude for everybody that supports this totally privately supported enterprise living in a county-owned building. And I want to say a word about that. This is the greatest private-public partnership in town. Private dollars run this entire museum, the light bill, the stripes in the parking lot, the salaries of our top-notch employees, and the people of Peoria County own the building we're in. And it's a beautiful thing, and we're making the most of it. So now, I want to make a couple of other special announcements. In a few minutes, we're going to allow the children, who are the main reason we're here, I would say, to help us dedicate this exhibition. But before we do that, and thank you for holding the noise-making T-Rex. Just hold. Get ready, because there's big noise coming, but just hold. Before we do that, I want to make a special announcement in the presence of Dr. Sharon Karat, one of our best partners, the whole museum, the superintendent of Peoria Public Schools. Some of you may know that we started something called the Every Student Initiative when I first became the CEO here 4 years ago. It allows for every student in Peoria and now East Peoria schools and other schools like St. Phil's and some of the diocesan schools and growing. Our goal is to have it everywhere, to come to the museum on a curriculum-related field trip with their schools every year. And I was asking the students earlier how many times they've been here, and 3 and 4 times, and how you went 8 times, one of them said. But these tours are inspiring our young people and forming habit. It's okay to go to museums, it's okay to have fun, it's okay to learn. So during the pandemic, with the building closed, we did not have the school tours. So Sally Snyder, the chair of our Every Student Initiative, is here with us, backed by the Barton Family Foundation and Polly Barton and Michael Graham and John Graham and Associates and so many others, announced that through today, as our deadline, students would be able to bring their families in with a family pass for free. And if they did so, and they went to the galleries to see an exhibition, and they went to the giant screen theater to see an educational film or any film, and they went to our state-of-the-art planetarium, if they did all 3 of those things, we would give each student 2 passes to come see T-Rex. And so far, more than 600 students have brought more than 2,000 family members just since we opened on March 6th through today. Pretty good. What I have to announce today, students, is that for those who haven't yet made it, the Board of Directors of the Peoria Riverfront Museum, the Every Student Initiative, the Barton Family Foundation, John Graham Associates, the Visionary Society, we are extending the free student family pass throughout the entire summer for students to come and earn their way going to the galleries, the planetarium, and the giant screen theater to 2 free tickets to the Peoria Riverfront Museum T-Rex exhibition. How about that? Now, a couple more things. What you see around us is an exhibition that was devised and conceived as a celebration of the 150th anniversary of a museum called the American Museum of Natural History in New York City on Central Park. This was the way they celebrated their sesquicentennial with this exhibition. And it ran there for almost 2 years, including their own closure during the pandemic. And I had the great privilege of being there on opening night in New York, where we met with the president of the museum, Dr. Ellen V. Futter, and our contact there, Jennifer Chow, who's an amazing human being and a great friend to our museum. And we asked them, what if Peoria hosted this exhibition when you're finished with it in New York? And they said yes. So here it is. So thanks to the American Museum of Natural History, and a little later we're going to hear from one of their top scholars, and one of the top scholars in the world on T-Rex. Right now, to tell you more about what is in this exhibition is our lead curator, who was with me that night in New York when we attended that opening, and who's seen this actually twice as we reviewed it and prepared to bring it here. He, along with his team of curators, have done a brilliant job of preparing us for this, but I want to give a specific shout out to Zach Zetterberg, our curator of art and Center for American Decoys, and our lead preparator, who has worked tirelessly every time I've come in here. He's been up in a lift or doing something. Zach, where are you? He's probably, there he is. Zach Zetterberg. And our friends from New York, if they're still in, are they in the area? Well, stand up. All these folks are from New York City. They're part of our Peoria family now. More to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the lead curator of the Peoria Riverfront Museum, Bill Conger, to tell us more about this exhibition.
Thank you, John. What a wonderful morning we are embarking on here. It is good to be first. And what I mean by that, 2 years ago, as John mentioned, we were in New York City at one of the coolest galas I think I've attended. The opening reception of T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator. 2 years later, plus COVID, here it is in Peoria in a brand new renovated gallery, which is providing an amazing context for this show. This is the most comprehensive exhibition, of course, as John said, by the museum that discovered this wonderful lady behind me. It has actually the most comprehensive view of the history, the ancestry, the development of this animal. If you were to see a compatriot exhibition 10 years prior, you might think Allosaurus was an ancestor, but you better come to this show and buck up on the new information that is being provided. Before we move further, though, I want to make sure and talk about the rest of my curatorial team. We have curators in art history, science, and Lottie Fittis of history, Zach Zetterberg, we talked to earlier, of art, and Renee Kerrigan, who you will meet in a minute, are curators here who have also put together exhibitions in the rest of the 5 galleries that have been renovated in the past year in the museum right now. So as we move forward, I want to introduce a couple people. From the American Museum of Natural History, their resident research associate, Dr. Aki Watanabe, who is a comparative biologist with a PhD from the Richard Gilder Graduate School at the museum, at the American Museum of Natural History. And as I introduce him, I'd like to introduce Renee Kerrigan, our curator of science, who's going to have a few words with him. So thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again soon.
Hello, Dr. Watanabe. Thank you for being here with us today.
Well, good morning.
Dr. Watanabe, we are so excited to be dedicating our exhibition from your museum, the American Museum of Natural History in New York, T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator today. And I know I have found that the T-Rex is the most fascinating dinosaur to people of all ages. I have a little daughter who's 3 years old. She can't wait to come see this exhibition. I'm pretty fascinated with all the content in the exhibit. What do you think it is about the T-Rex that is so interesting that people can't seem to get enough of?
Well, its size always captured people's imagination ever since its first discovery and first release into the public. So size has a lot to do with it. But I think also from a scientist's point of view too, I think we're learning more and more about this immense beast, immense dinosaur. It seems like on a weekly basis. So there's a lot that the fossils of T-Rex can give us. and the information about how it lived. So it really fills in those kind of knowledge gaps that we had before about how these creatures lived, over 65, 66 million years ago.
And speaking of the latest science that we are discovering, that the scientific community is developing and creating, finessing our understanding of the T-Rex weekly, as you say. I know that this exhibition is based on the latest scientific understanding about the T-Rex and the family of dinosaurs related to the T-Rex. What do you think might be the most surprising thing to our visitors?
Yeah, so T-Rex is obviously probably the most popular dinosaur. Everybody knows about T-Rex, especially from the movies. But I think we're giving a new portrait to this kind of historic creature that we know and we've loved for so long. So there are a lot of highlights. So, for example, we have a life reconstruction, full life reconstruction of actually the fossil that you see in my background, which is American Museum Natural History specimen. It's a very famous specimen. It has a catalog number AMNH 5027, and it's one of the most complete T-Rex dinosaurs. But you can probably say, hey, but there's actually another very complete T-Rex fossil not too far away from Peoria at the Field Museum. But the exhibit, what's special about the T-Rex ultimate predator exhibit is that we're giving the full picture based on cutting edge science. Also, we're providing information about how it lived, not just its bones, right? So you roll on top of the life reconstructions, you can see about how they might have sounded like, how they grew. We know a lot about how T-Rex started from a small, humble hatchling all the way to 6 to 9 ton animal as an adult. We also have a lot of interactives using kind of new exhibit technologies. So you can have what's called, or you can play around with what's called the investigation station, where you can learn about and kind of have a tactile, but also sort of kind of like an augmented reality experience of touching the T-Rex's femurs, learn about its biology. We're looking at real data from CT scans. You also have this huge interactive wall where you can kind of pretend that you're back in the Western US, for example, Montana, 66 million years ago. So there's a lot to love about the exhibit.
Yeah, not only you'll get to see the T-Rex fossil skeleton that we have here, the cast of the T-Rex with the fully fleshed out model that's right behind me here. And one of my favorite aspects is the baby T-Rex. The whole life stages of the T-Rex through baby and teenager and adult you can find out in this exhibition. It made me curious, if we were to meet a baby T-Rex today, who do you think would win? A grown-up or the baby T-Rex?
Well, that's always a great question. I think even a baby T-Rex, it could be a pretty formidable opponent. I would say it have to be 50-50, especially if there are multiple baby T-Rexes.
Well, thank you so much. We'd like you, if you could stay on for a little bit, because I think we might have some more questions coming. But we are so excited to have the T-Rex, the ultimate predator, here, and it's been a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you, Aki, Dr. Watanabe. And pretty cool. He gets to work with dinosaurs for a living. How about that? Well, now's the moment we've all been waiting for, but to officially declare the T-Rex, the ultimate predator, presented by CEFCU, and in the spirit of inspiration that is at the core of the mission of this museum and of this community. The time has come on behalf of all the staff and the board to let's get this party started. Okay, so what we'd like to do is have all our VIPs come up, and I have not recognized him yet, but the chairman of the President's Advisory Council of the Peoria Riverfront Museum, and somebody without whom this museum would not be here, because he helped really pull together all the interest. The Honorable Ray LaHood is with us today. Ray LaHood, ladies and gentlemen. So if I could have Secretary LaHood and Sally Snyder join Matt Mamer, Zan Ransberg, and Steve Jackson. come on up here, and Dr. Karat, if you would join us as well, please. And children, now's the time. You're going to stand right here in front of the lectern, okay? Come on over here. Sam, you stand next to me? Or come, there's room over here, too. Come over here. Dr. Watanabe is with us from the American Museum of Natural History. Dan, step over just a little so they can see you. All right, kids, now turn and look out this way, okay? Everybody line up. There's plenty of room. Plenty of room. Line up so we can see all your faces. Come down here. Step around here. Now keep all your T-Rex skulls down for the moment, okay? When I give you the key, when I give you the clue, you'll know when. You're going to raise those up way in the air, and then you can press that little noise maker, but not until I say, okay? So, are we ready?
Yes, yeah.
In front of your parents? Thank you, parents, for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the board of directors and all of the people who support inspiration in the community we call home, Peoria, Illinois, we hereby dedicate and open T-Rex, the Ultimate Predator, presented by SEFCU. Raise those skulls in the air. Thank you all for coming, and please enjoy, work your way around the exhibition today. We have our member private opening tonight, and then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Doors open, and we're open all week except for being here. JD, thank you for coming out. Before we step away, for any of us. We will. We'll get a stamp and we'll get some pictures afterwards. We got any questions?
We'll get you separate.
You favor a baby T-Rex or a human being? What do you think?
Me?
Yeah. I think you can take the T-Rex. You're a big guy.
I don't know.
Big guy.
How many pounds of the baby T-Rex?
How many, Dr. Watanabe, how many pounds of the baby T-Rex? About 36 pounds.
I'm sorry, I was.
No, I'm just making that up. Make that
I
up.
would say not so much different from humans. So that's why I say, it's probably a good 50-50 chance. But I think you can be outrun by baby T-Rex. They're pretty fast runners.
Any other questions? No. What? Somebody asked what a T-Rex tastes like. Now, of course, nobody knows, but.
Well, so, all dinosaurs, all birds are a surviving lineage of dinosaurs, right? So when you're actually eating chicken or turkey on Thanksgiving, you're actually eating, technically, dinosaur meat. So if you're actually wondering about what dinosaurs taste like, well, like everything else, they taste like chicken.
All right. Okay, any other questions? We've got a few gifts, parents and our special visitors. Please enjoy. Thanks everybody for coming out today.